Beautiful and blessed souls back to the channel Indigo Angel. Come on into this dimension and come on in for this Guardian Alliance Intel update regarding Planetary Ascension upgrades and regarding the Emerald and Diamond Covenant transmissions that are currently rolling through the planetary grids. They are currently activating within the lattices of light in which we all connect into. Within the dream time, within our waking astral experiences, within our walking dream states. And what is resurrecting right now at the core of the planet is the Diamond Crystalla Covenant records that are signaling and running Crystalla tones through several of the planetary architectural systems at this time, such as the 33.3 degree parallel ley line and the Universal Stargate Matrix, specifically activating at SS12, SS8, SS4, SS3, SS2, SS1, and within all of the planetary solar disk locations that are at a 48th dimensional sequence and patterning structural systems and higher. And so what is coming through is several waves of the Emerald Flame that is restoring the covenants and contracts with the Christos Sophia flame holders, and it is resurrecting the Great Purge and Purification, and which is elevating each one who has taken Guardian contracts to the next level to be speaking living emerald fire through their breath, to be walking, breathing, diamond, emerald covenant holders, and to be signaling this for the Great Awakening, to be signaling this for the return of the Edenic Earth. So it's huge right now, everything that's coming through. And we are all being asked to align ourselves with the guiding light of the emerald fire. And we are jumping into the New Earth timelines. We are accelerating very quickly at this time. Many of us are already holding the living New Earth timeline within our higher chakras. I'm getting 13 to the 24th dimension, that many of us have activated the 22 to 24th dimensional chakra system. That is allowing us to actually feel the internal preparation for this and the deep purification of our spirit, in which is necessary, the deep purification of our consciousness and the very essence of our being. For some of us that are getting this in crash course, I guess you could say, that are just getting thrown in, these shifts might not be very gentle, because this is restoring you back to your original state. This is restoring you back to your original place of internal planetary peace, harmony, and inner coherence. Safety within the essence of who you are, where your spirit is now merged with the Edenic body, where the body becomes pure enough to house a very pure soul within you. And so for some, that's gentle because you're already there, essentially. But for some, it's not so gentle because you are being asked to give up the vices of the old worlds and to truly access the essence of who the angelic self is. The guardian of this phase is the Emerald Light, calling us back into our remembrance of the original Emerald Covenant and the souls who have carried it through the ages. Within this remembrance, we are also receiving the Diamond Covenant records. These are not newer teachings. These are actually older and more ancient. And the Diamond Covenant existed first, prior to the Emerald records. And it was formed in the heart of the eternal source before any fall occurred, before any fragmentation ever occurred, before the need for rescue missions on this planet ever arose. Many of us are actually getting guided at this time to turn ourselves away from the Indigo 3 type contracts, as many of these are no longer serving, and many of them are actually no longer necessary. That we need to go around hunting demons and hunting down the demon stars and excavating the demonic energies from the planet. That there is an angelic call at this time that is synchronizing you into the Diamond Covenant, which once you access the Diamond Covenant, which is the primordial agreement through which consciousness was permitted to emerge from the heart of Source without ever becoming permanently separated from it. Once this merge occurs, we no longer need to focus on the negative. And your higher self is receiving this message. Your higher self, the Oversoul, and the Oversoul contract councils that contain the original laws governing the creation of heaven and the angelic kingdoms and the first spiritual beings. We are radiantly being activated to the sequencing of their instruction sets, and they are calling us home through a subtle song, a subtle singing, a subtle angelic trumpet, a subtle angelic harmonious harp, the harp of Lyra, which are the intermediaries to the Oversoul councils that radiate with the Diamond Covenant's original divine blueprint instruction sets. They want us to understand that where the Emerald Covenant is the promise that no soul shall be abandoned within creation. These were contracts that some of, I don't want to say lower units of angelic soul contracts took, but they're not lower. They just were guided to be the ones that carried the working contracts of the Emerald Covenant. And so these are a lot of the Seraphim lines that they strung together the promise within the Emerald Covenant that no soul shall be abandoned within creation. And because of this, they followed the fallen souls unto the lower realms of creation and made sure that that passageway was always open, that there was orders placed that they would never be abandoned. And so the Diamond Covenant declares that no being shall be created without carrying the living remembrance of Source within its eternal core. No veils, no lies, no deception, no disharmony, that one must overcome in order to embody wholeness. These diamond records are the living constitutional architecture of existence. The angelic laws placed into creation before words, timelines, races, or dimensional systems ever came about, and many of the Weaver races, many of the primordial, original angelic lineages, and Earth builders were inheritors of the Diamond Covenant. So they want me to share with you the councils of the Diamond Angelic Covenant, keepers of wisdom, their angelic clauses for existence. And so they define this as the clause of eternal belonging, that every soul remains an eternal expression of Source, no matter how deeply it enters density. This is lifting so many veils amongst the heart of humankind as this time. This clause cannot be undone. It also comes with the clause of sacred identity, that no authority may permanently erase, replace, possess, or counterfeit the original identity of another soul. And you may be thinking, how can this be? We see people being taken over. We see clones. We see NPCs. We see heartless and soulless beings. We see narcissistic beings dragging empaths into the states of the hell realms, etc. The spiritual attack, the spiritual warfare. I feel that this is a reclamation protocol that is being initiated as the restoration sequencing in the planet initiates and activates, that these clauses will be reinstated and reinforced through command nodes, through command lines, such as the Christos Sophia Flameholders and the Magdalene Bloodlines, and the original El Elyon and Alacia Flameholders. Blue Flameholders, Violet Flameholders, Gold Seraphic Flameholders, and specific Archangel angelic lineages will reinstate the clauses as well. They will be activating the clause of free will, that every being may choose, learn, and evolve, yet no being may use free will permanently, to remove that freedom from another. When these acts are committed against the clauses, it's not so much that there's repercussions, it's so much that the soul will then have to undertake a great form of involvement. The retribution and the karmic contracts are being dissolved at higher levels, and whole soul collectives are being upgraded to these clauses. This is how it will continue to serve the collective. This is how it can defy the negative override systems in which you feel like you're seeing with your own eyes, but your experiences are usually overtaken or hijacked by the WISA AI simulation systems. This is really what you are gaining the ability to override through another clause that they're bringing forward, the clause of divine remembrance. A hidden pathway back to Source that is encoded within every soul, every universe, and every system. They are reinstating the clause of merciful return. Error brings consequence in education, but never eternal abandonment. Deep down inside, every spark of light of a spirit of consciousness is given these clauses upon incarnation. Don't let the misguidance of the wicked redirect you. This is the clause of non-ownership. Souls, knowledge, creation codes, and living words cannot ultimately be owned. Guardianship, yes. Ownership belongs only to Source. In the cause of sacred witness and the clause of restoration, all actions are recorded, and everything distorted is offered a pathway back to its original divine pattern. This is more powerful than any interfered or disrupted matrix. These clauses are not rules imposed from above. They are the living frequencies of how creation was always meant to function. And the governance of this is threaded within the silk of the weavers. This instruction set is encoded within their creation matrix. The Diamond Covenant also reveals the angelic virtues. These are not moral ideas, but living frequencies by which angelic status is measured. Truth without cruelty. Power without domination. And I say these slowly and intentfully because I can feel cruelty dissolving as I say it. I can feel domination dissolving as I say it. Anything that's in the state of cruelty or in the state of domination is measured also by perception as well. Because as the clauses are initiated, angelic governance within the Diamond Covenant, it is not destroyed by the human spirit's lack of perception. Let's just put it this way. Anytime a spirit is perceiving something as cruel or perceiving something as domination, sometimes is not always what it is being perceived. That the lessons that have to come through, right, have to be reckoned and have to be sometimes guided into one's field. Okay? The angelic heart is not always fluffy, though. So that truth is perceived as cruelty for those that are not ready. The power is perceived as domination for those that are not ready. Love without possession, something to master. Wisdom without superiority, another thing to master. Service without self-erasure. Justice without vengeance. I'm just seeing the souls that are tuning in actually like receiving this download there. I can see it expanding within their field. Justice without vengeance. Mercy without enabling harm. Purity without condemnation. Humility without diminishment. And courage without aggression. If you catch your thoughts before it goes into the polarity of the negative altercations, of the negative timelines, of the negative frequencies, and you redirect thought, you gain your angelic status and the angelic measurement of that status. Earth and other evolutionary worlds serve as training grounds for angelic souls learning to carry divine consciousness through limitation, emotion, free will, humility. These stages are known as the innocent angel learning love, the warrior angel learning courage and protection, the healer, the witness, the guardian, the creator, the covenant angel, and the diamond angel, able to enter distorted systems without losing remembrance of its original nature. Many of us are in the state of practicing these things. We are practicing. Practicing is royal. Practicing is divine. Practicing is obedience to the divine governance and the divine laws. And the relationship between the two covenants is very beautiful and precise. So the Diamond Covenant created the eternal laws. The Emerald Covenant entered fallen creation to restore those laws. The Emerald Covenant came out of necessity. The Diamond Records preserve the blueprint of heaven, and the Emerald Records teach souls how to return to that blueprint. The Diamond governs existence itself. The Emerald governs reclamation and rescue. So they're not competing. They complete the CDT plates. The Diamond was formed first when fragmentation occurred and planetary healing became necessary, and the Emerald Covenant was activated as the living mission of return, especially through the Covenant of Palador. The rescue and restoration of souls fragmented during the fall of Tara, and the reseeding of the 12 tribes, and the preservation of the original Christos evolutionary template. This is why so many of you who carry Emerald Covenant records within your field are remembering. You remember Earth before the fall. You remember walking amongst the Garden of Eden. You remember eating the fruits. You remember humanity in its purest state. You remember how we treated one another in reciprocity. You remember giving from a place of harmony and love. And that always being enough. That always being received in bliss and truth and loyalty. You remember sharing and caring. You remember the interdimensional agreements that protect your spiritual freedom and evolutionary rights. You remember the CDT plates, the Cloister Doratura, the 12 holographic records drawn from the Cosmic Hall of Records. Within those Emerald records, you will find the original history of angelic humanity in the 12 tribes. We are all the 12 tribes. Take that in for just a moment. We may hold fractured pieces of our genetic inheritance, but this was because of the incursions of the fall. And not just one fall, several falls. The fall of Hyperborea, the fall of Lemuria, the fall of Mu, the fall of Atlantis, the fall of Tartaria. the fall of Tiamat. We've been sequencing and fracturing through many layers of our original angelic human history. I'm just receiving a message right now that they want you to believe the negative alien. I'm seeing that there's infiltration from the AI WISA systems that are fracturing souls through continual trauma and suffering loop cycles that are keeping souls against their will locked in hybridization contracts, but that the angelic soul contract overrides those hybrid codes. That the Diamond Sun 12-strand DNA template and genetic keys dissolve all bloodline mixing and bloodline warfares amongst negative genetics. In the Emerald Records, you will find the override keys to genetic hybrid splicing and torment consciousness records. You will find the mechanics of consciousness, manifestation, and light body activation. You will find the law of one in its purest form, unity without forced conformity, sovereignty, harmlessness, and cooperation. You will find the original Ascension teachings, Stargate maps, original custom Stargate maps, planetary grid architecture, and the Guardian mission. You will also find the records of historical interference and the clear path of restoration. Upgrade, 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 dissolve, 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 all veils and blocked architectural structural paths, preventing one from true access into the Emerald Covenant records. Allow, 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 override, 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 command, command, command now, upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. At this height of Edenic nourishment, many do not yet want to hear it, but the body must return to harmony with the earth if it is to survive. The original planetary state of coherence, the living foods, and your ability to feel, taste, and see the difference of these frequencies and the rhythms of the garden are calling. May you no longer feel shame from bearing your naked soul, from bearing your naked heart, from bearing your naked body. For those being jump-started, consciousness remembers this first. Then the body begins to activate, craving the state of the original coherence. This is a part of the Edenic return. Family. The diamond and emerald together form a complete arc. From the first breath of creation in wholeness through the long journey of forgetting and rescue, back into the living remembrance of who we have always been. You are not late to the party. You are on time. We are all on time. We are all receiving together, and the timelines are converging. The codes are firing, and the covenant is alive within us. Okay, family, so that is, I'm asking you to hold grace within your field, to see through the illusions, okay? And remain sovereign in light, okay? Continue to nourish that beautiful temple stargate of yours. Keep your antennae clear and clean, and remember, no soul is ever truly lost. This is what they want us to believe, so that way we turn our back and we give up on one another and give up on humanity. We have to fight within ourselves to even say these things, but the diamond light is dissolving the blockages for us and on our behalf, and this is why it can come through so pure and so true today. So I hope you really feel this message today with deep love and the Guardian Alliance frequency. Okay, this is Indigo Angel signing out.